I'm Mariam. This is my team. Tunji, Nadia, Alex, Diana, next. Our group champion is Rob. So if this goes well, thanks to us. If it goes badly, it's because of him.
So we generated this AI image on Midjourney from our work this week, but we want to paint a bigger picture for you first. Close your eyes, please. Really close your eyes, even you on Zoom. And imagine it's 2052 in a more ideal city. Call it Salzburgia. You wake up and get a notification via drone delivery or on your device or on a community bulletin board in a lively public space you love, that there's a community meeting on a matter of civic importance next week, a month before a big referendum vote. No worries about finding time to go. These meetings are held multiple times per day with free transport and childcare. Employers must legally offer paid time off for civic participation, and stipends are available for freelancers or anyone who's not working. The day before, you pick up a magazine with an info sheet about the issue, stating the facts, the arguments pro and con, and the proposal's equity analysis. It's available in the 5 most spoken local languages. You WhatsApp 2 questions to a city hotline, and you get a quick response. On the meeting day, you and your coworkers grab transit, free for attendees, to a midday meeting in your neighborhood. Lunch is being served. Your neighbor is there with her daughters. The toddler goes to the childcare room, while the 16-year-old sits with her, excited to vote for the first time. Your partner's traveling, so they log on to this meeting's digital twin. In the discussion, people plug into simultaneous translation apps, and facilitators circulate actively to answer questions, gather insights, and engage anyone who seems unsure. Further study of the issue is needed, so a group of local residents are randomly selected with paid leave or compensation to follow up. You've already taken your turn this year. As the meeting ends, a group of 6th grade student reporters grab quotes from locals as part of their civic education homework. And honestly, their questions are amazing. They know their stuff. Voter turnout, engagement, and feelings of belonging have skyrocketed since this new approach was adopted in the mid-2020s. Breathe this in for a moment. Please open your eyes. Now, we'll tell you a bit about how we get there.
As you might have guessed, our focus is on civic engagement. Civic engagement is the formal process of involving local residents in decision-making in order to address issues of public concern. And our focus is on local government. So, what's the problem? Well, despite, okay. Well, despite efforts at inclusive civic engagement, marginalized communities face multiple barriers in decisions that affect them the most. We did the 5 whys analysis on this and the root cause of the barriers to equitable engagement, and found that the barriers are rooted in poverty and discrimination. These barriers include resource poverty, unconscious bias, discrimination, as well as the time constraints that working class communities especially face. Often, the same 10 voices are heard in consultations, which doesn't make for effective collaboration. Young people are especially disempowered and not given the right to share their opinions. As well as this, there is a lack of accountability within citizen engagement, which means marginalized voices are not considered as much. And of course, an important factor affecting citizen engagement is the distrust of politicians. Well, I don't know who put that there.
Okay, this guy.
But we fixed it.
So in tackling these various barriers, well, we would like to first present some principles that we believe should underpin these solutions. So first off, we believe in providing material support to enable wider participation. So imagine someone, for instance, working to would not meaningfully, practically, and realistically engage in these processes and solutions. Second off, we also believe in valuing lived experience. So there's this particular quote shared with us by Tunji, which goes, "He who wears the shoe knows where it pinches." So, there you go. Thank you, Tunji. All right. Third off, we also believe in having diversity and equity as more than buzzwords. Of course, making it more meaningful and having and providing solutions that don't reflect the biases and problems that we're already working against. And finally,
and these three pieces flow into a bigger ethos of seeing community members not just as consulted, but as consultants with lived experience that is valuable to and essential to the solution. So we're drawing here on Arnstein's ladder of participation, which is a concept from the 60s, moving at the bottom from less powerful forms of citizen participation on up to delegated direct power or citizen control of initiatives and decisions at the top.
Great. Let's see how we can move forward. Let's see what are the concrete steps for going to this. First of all, if it's working. If the authorities are saying that civic participation, citizen engagement is an important topic, an important matter, they have to behave in this regard. So let's put the money where our mouth is. If we are saying that citizens engagement is important, let's provide funds for this. Let's provide budget for material support of the local citizens engagement in terms of free public transport when you are going to citizen engagement duties, stipendium or paid time off for the employees who are participating in their civic duties. Also, we have to respect the cultural diversity of our communities and make the citizen engagement accessible in all the minority languages in the communities in order that the citizens will have the possibility to express in the language they feel most comfortable. Also, we have to empower children and young people to be active in our communities since the lowest ages, and also to use the digital tools in order to make the participation more accessible, like the pandemic told us. Please, Nadia.
Yeah. So randomly selected working groups can help to continue the civic engagement beyond the initial more open public consultation. These will sometimes be based on identity and only if the policy applies to you. When we say facilitators as lifeguards, we mean people that can keep everyone engaged in the conversation, make sure that everyone is able to fully participate and address any unequal power dynamics that may be in the room. Issue guides make it easy to understand the policy at play. These should be publicly available and publicly funded independent research on the facts and on the different opinions so that people can go in to the consultation with fully informed and able to participate. Cultural competence, we've mentioned before, is something, it was very important to make sure that everyone's kind of complex, nuanced needs are met in the room, and we're aware of how to meet those needs. And then finally, outreach, meeting people where they're at is so important in order to be able to tackle distrust in these participatory processes. And it's especially important at the beginning when first implementing these initiatives. Now, these are all things that we have seen previously. We see implemented today. Well, not all things. These are things that are being implemented today, and there are examples that we can go to right now. But one example is Participate in Design, which is a Singaporean architectural nonprofit, and they consult residents to design community spaces. So one of their projects was a 2017 community club they created, and they consulted all of the residents in the community that hadn't been asked their opinion before, so they were a bit hesitant to get involved at first. But they provided food at meetings, they held pop-up stories markets, community workshops. They met them where they were at, both inside and outside. And what that meant is that they created a space that the community really loved and genuinely felt that they had co-created.
Another example is the Manor Park Politics School in London, which educates and encourages young people aged between 10 and 15 to engage in politics and democracy. They support the
Who
young
runs
people.
it?
Oh, might just be me. But we support young people in expressing their views, and this year the focus was on education and environmental issues. The young people created their own manifesto of ideas, and we have copies for you for later.
Okay, so in Romania now, if you are an employee and you are working in a public holiday, your employer is legally binded to offer you a triple payment for this day. So we can translate this instrument and legally binded employers to offer paid time off if you are fulfilling your civic duties, your citizen engagement duties. Also, we have already countries which lowered the voting age to 16. We have Austria, we have Malta, and these are countries where the engagement of young people is very present, and their voice is heard, and they are seen by politicians and authorities. Also, we have many other countries where this is a topic on the agenda, and we have debates on lowering the voting age in Belgium, in Romania, in Germany, and in many other countries all across Europe.
Some considerations for practitioners. Don't be extractive. Sorry, my habits. Respect people's time. So we don't want practitioners wasting people's time for things they can do that is obvious. We don't want that. Establish initiatives collaboratively with citizens. Yeah, as Abraham Lincoln says, democracy serves government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So that's very essential to carry the people along. It's about them. So we also said prioritize funding for these initiatives. So with our money, we can achieve anything. So we've set the bar very high. We have lofty goals and ideas, but they can only be executed with money. So we are looking for issues to be major on the budget and not just something minor. So we talk about protect the rights of minorities and marginalized groups. So we want this codified in local laws, and it should also be the convention.
Oh, thank you for listening. And since we have all the solutions, there will not be any questions. But in the spirit of material support, we do accept compliments in the form of cash and gifts. Thank you.